All right, guys, welcome to Wayne's World Garage. Happy Tuesday. It's not Happy Hump Day. Not yet, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be sawing logs here. But today, I'm working on the Mighty Mo, the Minneapolis Moline, the HEB engine. 605 cubic inches, 10 liters for you people born after 19, I don't know when. 100 horsepower, running about 1,000 RPM. It's a great engine, big American steel, built in Minneapolis. It's a nice motor, seems to run pretty well, but we've changed things a little bit. We put spark plugs in it a year or two ago, wires on it, changed the oil, cleaned the oil filter, tried to bump up the oil pressure, put an overflow reservoir on it, which is working pretty well. The next thing to address is the wiring. And what is wrong with the wiring? Let me show you. I suppose there's nothing wrong with the wiring, but my God, this to me is what we would call a rat's nest. And if you look at this real carefully, what in the heck is this mess? This is like hilarious. So what am I going to do? I am going to work on rewiring this. And it's really a one-person job. We've got lots of guys here to help and that want to help, and they're great mechanics and stuff. But this is really a one-person job. So I'm going to work on this today, and we'll see how much of it we get done. So we will start. You can see I put some spaghetti on this here. But this needs to be red, one needs to be the other color, blah, blah, blah. I think we'll start with the easy stuff first. We're trying to analyze this. And by the way, while I'm working on this, you may be wondering why have I not done a video recently? Well, that's a good question. It's a time issue. And just like today, it took me at least 20 minutes to get set up here. It took me 20 minutes to get the cameras going, another 20 minutes to load everything up. And when I go home and edit it, it's going to take another half hour, 2 hours, an hour, I don't know. Depends how much editing I do. But the reality is, not that many people watching this, and YouTube is not pushing videos like this. They're pushing YouTubes from people that want to do shorts, very quick videos. So I had a questionnaire the other day come up from YouTube. It was hilarious. First question is, how do we identify? Well, I told them I'm a white male. Fair enough. Next question, what age group? I should have lied. I didn't. I told the truth. 65 years or older. All right, next question. Thank you for the survey. I get the hint, and I get it. I know where the money is. The money's not with the geezers. Regardless, I still like doing videos, and we like what we're doing here. So we'll put videos out once in a while, but probably not as much as I was doing before. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hope you enjoy the video. What are we going to do here? First I got to do is figure out, here's the alternator here. I don't think it's the original alternator, but one of these here has got 12 volts on it going right to the battery. And which one might that be? That goes to the key, I bet. I bet you it's a white wire. White wire. Yeah, the white wire goes to the amp meter, which doesn't work, and goes to the battery. Don't need a college education to figure that out, but let me just double check that. So we'll get out the Simpson. Simpson? We don't have a Simpson. We'll get out the Fluke. Old people would use a Simpson. This is 2023, we use a Fluke. Nobody uses Flukes anymore. All right, power on. Just to double check. Actually, you don't need power on. Power can be off. Just to double check though, that the white wire is always hot, which I am pretty sure it is. Yep, 12 point blah, blah, blah. And the blue wire goes to the, something else. What's the blue wire? Oh, blue wire goes to the ignition. Ignition's got like 10 other wires on it. So let me see here how we're gonna do this and what the best approach is here. Comes through here. We don't even use the amp meter anymore. We bypass it. So the battery goes from we come from the battery terminal to the amp meter, to the key, and that kind of makes sense. You need 12 volts heading up in that direction. So I wonder, maybe the best way to do it, I was kind of thinking this, believe it or not, I thought this through a little bit. How do I do this? What's the best way to do it? I may end up putting a terminal block in here and running power to here, running all these wires through here. That might be a good way of doing it. Probably won't get it done today, but let me Let me see if I can get started and see what happens here. Yeah, white wire goes up to there. Amp meter, yep, battery. That'd be the way to do it, is run it from there. Yeah, white wire there, to the battery. It'd be a good thing to do, and I've got plenty of wire. Let's start with running it. So what I'll do is I'll leave these a little bit longer than they need to be. Should I run them? No, I'm going to run them. We've got it going to the amp meter, which we don't need. The key. Just trying to think of the best way to mount this little terminal block I have. Might be right through the gas tank. Yeah, right through here. I think what I'll do is I will make it go right to there. So, then I got Inky the helper here. Hi, Inky girl. Helping today. So that'll go to there. And then we're going to need another one that goes from, let's see here. The key to the key. So we need one that goes from there to the key. So what if I put my terminal block there? I'll run up to the key. That should be plenty to go to the key. And then I'm going to need one to go to the other side. So there you go. If anybody hasn't seen these before, I really like using these connectors. They actually have heat shrink on them and they're waterproof. And yellow ones are for 10 to 12 gauge. Blue ones are for a little bit smaller. It says it right on them. 16 to 14, blah, blah, blah. Works out really well. And I'll run 12 gauge and all this stuff. So let me do this. And I'll just take it longer there too. Remember, this one's going to the battery. If you don't have a set of these little snippers, these are the best in the world. Not about the world, but oh, I shaved it. I don't want to do that. Finger here. There we go. So there you go. Push these in as far as they go. Grab your crimper and it tells you what size, yellow, red, and blue. Kind of makes sense. People struggle with this because they don't put the right size wire in the right crimping tool, in the right tool. Get it in nice and tight. It's like a German bra, nice and tight. Crank that down. The next step, always do it. Double check, give it a little tug to make sure you didn't muck it up. So now put this down. And now let me put you on hold while I get some power here to shrink it. All right, so let's shrink this bad boy down. Get your heat gun out there. And again, mechanically, we're strong on here. We'll just check this out. These are really good shrink thingies. Beauteous. Make sure I've got audio still. Do I still have audio? Yes. So one thing to always check here, just make sure it's on there, but this actually gives it another secure connection. You don't want to solder this wire first. If you solder this wire, the wire becomes brittle and it'll break. Look at how your car's wired. Do they solder anything? Of course they don't solder anything. They crimp it all. So a good solid crimp connector will last forever. So this will go here. Gonna run that to 12 volt from the battery. I need to get one of these coming off the battery. What I almost need to do now is mount my terminal block. So let me show you what I got for a terminal block here. This would be the terminal block. check this out. And the way these work is you can buy little jumpers to go between them. So I think what we'll do is we will secure this to where, I think here's a good spot to secure it right there. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to have long enough screws to do it today, but we'll see. And there you go, and that will be that. And now I can run my wires here. I probably should try to secure this thing right now. See if I've got long enough self-tapping screws to do that. Probably not. Let me see. So these things are the best things in the world, these self-tapping screws. They work like a champ. I'm going to mount this thing up now and take it from there. Once I find my little thing. All right, hopefully you can see this guy. And when I do this, what I normally like to do is, if possible, especially with thicker steel, get the hole started a little bit. So let's see if we can do that. Yep. Now I know where my hole is. Now I can. Well, that was a fail. Just broke my bit. I hate it when it happens, but it's never happened before, has it? Shucks. I've been meaning to buy new ones of them. So now this will probably take a couple of these to go through it. So I'm going to start with a smaller one and work my way up. One. At least with it pre-drilled in there, I can pretty comfortable. I'll get this other one out. No, I won't. Beautiful. Now we mark the next one. The next one in. Oh, there goes one. Ground. Put this here. Let's see if we can draw the next one through. Well, that's two I've dropped, but we'll get her done. Beautiful. All righty. Nice. Nicely done. Inky, how about that? Good job, Daddy-O. Of course, I got dirt on my hands. All right, so the white one's hot. So before we short circuit everything, let me... There you go. Wonderful. And the blue one is ignition. So let's go here to here. Probably too long here, but that's okay. We'll take the one I did. Put that right on there. Beautiful. Okay, the blue one goes there. The blue one is protected, so the next wire. So this we're just going to go run right down to ignition. One of these here where we got a whole bunch of them. Got it? Yeah, ignition. All right, I'll leave it as long as I can have it. Let's find another color wire and run another wire down there. Blue. Blue is ignition. So let me do a blue ignition wire. There we go. I'm running on the big side. There we go. Now this requires a little different type of connector. So let me get the different type of connector here. So this, we'll put this little spade connector on and put that on there. Make sure it's on properly. Grab my crimper dimper tool. Make sure I'm centered. Oh, I didn't quite hit that one. The takeaway though is tug, tug, tug. Make sure it doesn't fly out on you. If it flies out on it, you failed. So let's shrinky this thing down. Isn't that nice? When this is done properly, it shrinks it tight here. A little bit goop comes out. It's rock solid. Very sweet. This one now goes up on here. Ooh, it's hot. Nice and hot. Ooh. There you go. Perfect. Now we can put some of that on there. All right, so now blue is ignition. So what I need to do is I should have brought my label maker to label these guys for which ones. Just said my GoPro turned off because it was too hot. Give me a break. I mean, it was too hot. Not too hot. All right, get that there. Careful, put this where it's supposed to be. Not like I pointed a heat gun or something at it. So if you ever do anything like this, wire it up like fast channel, don't do it halfway. And the way to do that is you put spaghetti on it. And this way it will be totally protected from friction, abrasion, and any other word you can think of that I don't know. It's not hard to put it on. Easy as pie, just like that. And they actually make tools to put this on, but I don't really use it. I don't use it. Let's see about there. I'll take my cutters, cut it. Then, what I like to do, you don't have to, is put a little bit of tape on it so it looks better. And actually, when you buy a car, that's how they do that. They tape it up a little bit. This is automotive stuff. You could tie wrap it too. That's a good way of doing it, but tape is cheap, and the tape is out. Easy as pie. These, hook up a battery wire to it, I think. Oh man, how did that happen? Shucks. Try, take two. One at the very end. We'll be good to go. How's that? Nice. And we can put a wire around this shortly. All right, well, here we are. We're making a little bit of progress. We wired up some wires from the voltmeter and the Hobbs meter. Not really a Hobbs, it's made in China. It'd be a Kang Pao meter. I don't know how they say it. But we got wires coming down there wrapped in spaghetti. And what we're doing is we're making the blue wires be all of the ones for the switched voltage. Does that make sense? Good. So now we'll crimp some of these guys on. We're going to need a whole lot more wires for the switched voltage, aren't we? Yes. Maybe. We'll see. There. There. Take these guys, twist them a little bit. This one I can see is a little bit long. Tug, tug, tug. Crimp. Now shrink. Shrink. Shrink, how you say that? Ooh, that's hot. Alrighty. And I think I didn't put tape on this, so let me put a little bit of tape on the end, just so it's a little bit professional, like the real guys would do it. Maybe I should have got a job at GM. So blue is going to be switched from the key. And I wonder, it wouldn't hurt to put both these on the same one, would it? Nah, it'll be fine. Get this guy out of here so I don't whack him. So, let's see here. Actually, I need the vice grips right now. Get them out of there before I lose them. Shh. Keep the noise down, Inky. Try to sleep here. So now, I think we can get these two together on the same terminal. I don't know why not. Nice. Sweet. Nicely done. Not about that, but nicely done. There you go. Easy as pie. So now we've got power going back to this guy. We're slowly, you can't see it, removing this rat's nest. So this little red wire here I can get rid of. Here. Okay, I have one less wire to go. And what's next? What does blue wire do? This blue wire. Oh, the blue wire is for the key and the shut off for the pressure switch. That'll be a separate day. What we need to do now is let's put this one here. This is for the, this comes from my key. The red one here. And this is going to the fuel pump ski. So let me see about this. Cut this here. Now here's a trick they taught me in college. No, they didn't. This wire is clearly not 12 gauge, as you can't see. But if I take this, I fold it in half, it'll be almost 12 gauge. And I think I'll be able to put my little thingy on it. So what I'm going to do is put a butt connector on it. Don't ask me why they call it a butt connector, but it sounds pretty perverted. Let's see what's going to work. I think it'll work just swimmingly well if I can crimp it tight enough. I think I'll be all right. Let me see if we get a little bit more crimp on it, maybe. There we go. That might Be nice to have a little bit more. Let's see. This is going to go from here down to there. Perfect. And it might be nice to have a little bit of heat shrink on there. Take this, go to the yellow, cramp it. On that end. Shrink it. The good news is this is about as simple as a John Deere B tractor. It has a magneto. So to turn on and off, we short circuit the magneto. It's kind of cool. Now they gave me some heat shrink, but I bet you it's junk. It won't do anything, but you never know. Well, we'll give it a shot. I'm not very optimistic here, but free to try, right? So let me do this. Let me crimp this guy in here, shrink him down, see if I can get it around there. Okay, do that. Crimp him there. The reality is all we need to make this thing start is fuel for the fuel pump, which in the old days you didn't really need a fuel for the fuel pump because they didn't have a fuel pump, electric fuel pump. We got the electric, I'll talk in a minute, wait a minute. So I have the electric fuel pump. We have the electric fuel pump. Pete Peterson put this on because our fuel tank is lower than our carburetors. Tractors, it's usually up higher than the carbs. So we need to get a little bit of fuel in here. Alrighty, well, we are making loads of progress here. So I've got the switch wired up. Check that out, spaghetti on it. Terminal block getting wired up, looking good. So red's 12 volts to the battery, blue is ignition for switch, so that'll go blah, blah, blah to everything that needs power. And we're making some progress here. So fuel pump, I gotta figure out the fuel pump, where that goes to. We already got it. We're getting it done. Fuel pump, that looks like this guy here. So we're making progress. Pretty soon it's time to check it out. This silly thing turned off. Why did it turn off? Because it was hot. I'm hot too, it's summer out, it's Maryland. Did I turn it off? No. So let me put this back and get you all situated here. So maybe. Okay, don't do that. There we go. Alrighty. All right, now we got you situated, so where are we at? We have got to take the key, which is here. We got some connectors crimped onto there, so we are going to connect one of them to the switch to power, and one of them to the 12 volts all the time. And we'll see how she's looking. It'd be nice if I can do this without taking this off, but I don't know if I can. You gotta take it all off. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe not. Well, I know what's going to happen here. As soon as I pull it, it's going to fall into the ground. So, yeah, I know how that gig works. Hope you can see better than I can, because I sure as heck can't see in here. Okay, there's that. So that's from the key, and that will then put power to the charge up the battery. We should be all good to go here. This has got a jumper going to here, so now this will be 12 volts to the key. And I need to make sure I've got, yes, that's 12 volts. This comes from the battery directly. Starter. I think we're making progress, actually. Might be time to see if we make sparks here soon. Tell these things are made in China because there we go. Standard electrician tools won't work on them. Little square number 0, 1, 2 and stuff like that. But that's the way it goes. Okay. And let's see, because we're getting so excited here. Not quite down on this guy, but we're making a lot of progress on it. Teeth only. Don't tell my wife. There we go. Tape keeps it together from coming apart, which is a crucial part of the integrity of what we're doing. I don't know about that, but there we go. All right. Should I dare turn the power off and see if anything works here? I don't know about that. That's going to be scary. I better I'll double check first. What I don't understand is the magneto and how that gig works. I guess I'll find out. Hang on a second, stand by. All right, so before we get too excited and clean up all this rat's nest, which is actually looking pretty good, the one thing I didn't rewire yet is the little switch for the magneto, and what this does is it short circuits it. So one side of the switch goes to ground, the other side goes to the engine. And where's the heck's the other side go? To the emergency cutoff for the low pressure. And I will rewire that. So to turn this engine on, you flip this guy out. A little bit of choke. Yeah, you don't need much. A little bit of choke. I took out this switch here, unshorts it. So now we're unshorted. Is that English? I don't know. It always helps to turn the fuel on first. So turn the fuel on. Try this again. I'd say it's working swimmingly well. So now let me clean up my mess. Inky's ready to go home.